Oh, that's the Casting Couch was Arizona.
Was it?
Yeah.
And that's where you're from?
Yeah.
Oh,
it was right down the street in the Scottsdale airport.
Really?
Yeah.
In the airport?
Well, there's like, a bunch of, the Scottsdale airport's like one of those smaller, nice ones. And then there's like a bunch of little businesses leading up to it. It's not like, it's like a private airport.
Oh, it's like Teterboro.
Is that your guys' Scottsdale airport?
That's the airport that the rich and famous fly out of in New Jersey.
Okay. Yeah. It's like that.
Well, this is all good stuff. So let's just start it so we can have it on the.
Well, I mean, we're starting. Yeah, you want to start it? You want to give the introduction, Michael?
Yeah,
You've been giving them lately, and you're getting better at them.
Okay, it's gonna take me a while. All right, yeah. Well, welcome to the Sea Otter Town Hall podcast with Dylan Krasinski, Mike Kerrigan, and our guest
Charles Engle, baby.
Yeah,
It's actually a hyphen last name, Engle, baby.
Engle, baby. That's actually a good one. I like that a lot. Michael, that was pretty good.
That was good.
all right. I feel like I had to force it out, but that's all right.
You do this. You know what I noticed? You do this delay between Sea Otter Town Hall and
I hate doing intros and bringing people on stage. Like, I don't care about anything else, but like, I'll freeze on names.
Yeah.
So
I know what you mean.
what I do is I don't host a lot, but I'll write it on my hand, and then I won't forget once I've written it. But I remember I've screwed up like a couple names, and the people, they were not forgiving about it. And
I
they
don't
tank
like
their
when people
sets.
aren't forgiving about it. I think it's a true, I've had that even with a flyer, and they'll be like a message where you're like, hey, you got my fucking name wrong. And I'm like, well, this wasn't
All
a
right.
malicious attack on you.
sorry.
I find it funny. I prefer getting a bad
Yeah.
name off the top because it gives me something to riff off. And a lot of these people got to remember, dude, no one knows who you are
Yeah,
at this
yeah,
show.
nobody
No one's
cares.
like, oh, they dissed him.
Yeah, nobody understands. When people get my name wrong, my last name's Engle. I get Eagle all the time.
Really?
Yeah, Charles Eagle, baby. And then I'll go up and I'll caw and I'll scream. It's fun. But yeah,
That's a cool name too.
Charles Eagle.
Yeah.
Yeah, Chucky Eagle.
Chucky Eagle.
Baby. Chucky Eagle's a wild guy.
It's my alter
That's what you
ego.
should start going by, Chucky.
Yeah, that's when I binge eat at night. It's the wildest thing I do.
Chucky Eagle. Dude, dude, that's my problem is I binge eat. We've talked about
Yeah.
that drunken bodega binge eat. It's tough.
I won't go. See, I don't stick at one spot. I'll get off the train and then say I have a 10-minute walk home. I'll hit multiple businesses on the walk home. And then on the walk home, I don't know if you do this. Do you do the it's not gambling. I'll do them like well, I'm eating this right now, so that just means I don't eat breakfast. And then I'll eat another thing. I'm like, well, then I'll eat this whole pizza now, so then I'll skip lunch tomorrow. And then I'll eat pizza immediately right when I wake up. There's nothing done.
You're just like stocking up the calories, and I'm
Yeah.
like, hey, well, yeah, it's in the week, right? It's like, say, 5,000
Yes.
calories for the week or 10,000 calories for the week. So it doesn't matter if I eat all
Yeah.
10,000 in one
Right
day.
now.
I'll just not eat for 5 days, and then
Brush my teeth for 7 minutes tomorrow.
I'll break even.
I like
Yeah.
halal. That's my problem. Late night, I'll go to Adele's.
Yeah.
You know, have you ever had Adele's? It's probably the best one I've ever had in the city. It's on like 6th Avenue, Times Square. And it's like, dude, it's like 10,000 calories at 3 o'clock in the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
I don't even drink. And when you wake up, I feel hungover. I'm stupid. I can't think
Yeah.
right.
That's
Just
not good.
Sweating.
Dude, I had to stop eating chopped cheeses at night.
Yeah, because you're a sandwich guy.
I
at
told
night.
you, I love a sandwich. So I was getting chopped cheeses. And then like one day I woke up and I drank like a half a gallon of water. I woke up like 4 times throughout the night. It was so salty. Dude, I thought I gave myself diabetes. I was just waking up. My mouth was so dry like every hour. And I was just chugging these bottles of water. And I was like, that's it. I haven't had a chopped cheese since.
I've never had one.
They're delicious.
I've never had one either.
Yeah, they're a New York thing.
They're
only.
great. But yeah, I had
They
to
say
stop
it's better
doing
than
that.
the cheesesteak, right?
I think so. I haven't had a good Philly cheesesteak in maybe one time. But yeah, I've had a.
How much different is a Philly cheesesteak to a steak and cheese in Boston? Is
Steak-
it that much different?
The Boston steak and cheese, I feel like if it's done right, it's done with steak tips.
No.
No?
Steak tip and cheese is
No,
the
that's
best way
not
to
the
do it in
original.
Boston.
No, I mean maybe you prefer that, but that's not the. Some people think Boston's known for steak and cheese.
Okay.
but that's just other Boston people who are like all about Boston.
I thought they're known for like the roast beef sandwich,
They were, yeah, that as well.
the triple beef 3-way. Isn't that
Yeah,
what
and they
it's called?
put that disgusting like barbecue sauce that isn't like it's like red.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Have you ever
Damn,
had it?
no.
It's like
I had
it's
Mike's
literally.
cannolis.
Oh yeah, that's
What do
pretty
you
good.
think, dude? I thought that was
I don't like
so
that.
overrated.
I thought it
I
was
got
a
it. I was
lot.
like, I didn't even finish it. I'm
Dude,
like,
it was huge.
Yeah.
It was so huge.
You
But
gotta
I'm
get the
also not a
minis.
cannoli guy. I should have got a mini. I don't like cannolis. I think they're kind of a dumb dessert.
yeah, I don't like them that much.
I
either.
like I'll get, but I'll now that I'm in New York, I live in the Greek neighborhoods. I'll get a cheesecake baklava. I mean, I'll get a whole cheesecake and just walk home and eat it.
Okay, what's your like if you're what is your run of drunk food? You get off the train and you hit multiple spots. What is your go-to meal?
This is what not go. I mean, generally, I'll get off the train, hit the Ammonia Cafe, get a fruit tart, a cheesecake baklava, probably a macaroon. Then I'll go eat those on the way to the grocery store. I'll go to the Green Bay, get like probably just a sushi, something ready to go, some hot chicken, and then I'll start going sour gummy worms, disgusting food.
Yeah, baby.
Get a Coke, and then I won't feel any of the pain. I think my brain shuts it off, and I'll go all night. So
it's a lot of sugar.
It's a lot of sugar. And then I'll get home, and whatever my girlfriend has in the fridge, I'll eat. If it's hummus, I'm just
fingering hummus.
One time I, because she gets so angry because she has to like label food like we fucking work in the office together, and but she never wakes up, and I usually eat her because she has a big bag of frozen mangoes, so I can eat a number of those because she won't notice. It's not like she counts the mangoes, but one time she woke up to pee, and I threw them all in a drawer hastily. I put some in my pocket, and then I chucked some in the silverware drawer. And then she peed, and then I ate them out of the silverware drawer like an animal.
That's so. What? First of all, what a terrible name for a cafe. The Ammonia Cafe.
That's disgusting. I don't know why.
Poisonous.
That's horrible.
It's like a classic foreign person move to like. I think that it has a nice ring to it.
It's top of the phone book.
Yeah.
Highly
Just spelled
toxic
AAA ammonia. My go-to meal is I'll get off. I'll do something where like I'll get a slice of pizza with like. Whoever at like in the city, then I'll take the train home.
Right? That just ignites it.
Yeah, and you can get away with it. Did you used to be fat?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, you know what?
Dylan was hoping.
You know what it is? I was hoping. I was like, I see my future. You have the habits of someone who used to be fat, but just works out like crazy. But yeah, I'll do like a slice of pizza or something, and then I'll take the train home, and then I'll stop at the bodega and get like maybe a sandwich.
Yeah.
And maybe like a little like either chips or a Sour Patch Kids. And then I'll maybe get like a little strawberry shortcake to eat on the walk
That's
home.
great. That's a very balanced meal. That's a whole meal. I just get little nibblings, and then it's the most disgusting meal I've ever had in my life. Yeah. For me, I do little things that I'm like, well, it's nothing. It's just, it's just a macaroon. It's just a whole sushi. It's just sour gummy worms.
That's smart. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's bad. I mean, I've done better. I haven't been smoking weed, drinking, or binge eating.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Porn's been up, but scales go back and forth.
Yeah, I've been vaping a lot. I've been on the grape vape, but it's keeping me, and I haven't been eating as much.
That's good.
I stopped vaping for 5 days. Day 5, I was ravenous. I was so hungry, dude. I was just eating everything. There's no nicotine.
Oh man, not healthy. So
thanks, Mike.
Just disgusted with it.
Mike,
what are your eating?
What are your eating habits, Michael?
I have nothing in every neighborhood I've lived in has like no options. I guess I'm a little picky. I just can't eat any street crap, but there's nothing to eat. Mm-hmm.
Mike's a big meal guy. He likes a sit down dinner at lunch.
I'll have 3 big meals a day.
That's crazy.
That's nice.
I don't know. I get real hungry. I'll eat a full breakfast every day. People must think I don't eat breakfast, and I'm hungry within 1 hour. Like for like Thanksgiving dinner, I need like a chicken, rice, veg. And I ate, for me, 2, I have French toast like every day.
And you make it?
Yeah.
Wow. And like dip it in an egg wash and everything?
Oh, yeah. Full 2 eggs, 2 pieces of bread, huge coffee, and I'm starving in an hour. I don't go to the doctor, but I got to ask him, is that normal? Why am I like ravenous? And I'll drink caffeinated drinks with Dylan. I go to after I've eaten dinner, I'll have like a caffeine drink for a show, and then I get hungry after that. I'm like, isn't this supposed to suppress my appetite?
Yeah, it is. And are you pooping after the caffeine?
Oh no, I wish, man.
Oh dang,
I'm the opposite. I don't poop for a while.
I'm so used to the caffeine that it doesn't even affect me anymore.
I felt it this morning, but I didn't want to do it. I got a new roommate, and we don't have a fan in the bathroom, and she has the room next to the bathroom. So now she's slowly learning, like, oh, he listens to a lot of music when he's in. Oh, that's how he poops. And I hate it. So this one came today with the coffee, and I was like, I don't want Bruna. She's not up yet, and I don't want to wake her up like this. So I just held it in.
That's really nice of you. I've noticed that those have you ever been in a bathroom where they have these silent fans now?
No, I just have
dude, I saw a product, they put it out, and it's like this whole new thing of the silent bathroom fan, and I'm like, dude, the point of the bathroom fan is not to get this. It's to cover the sound
Yeah,
of
exactly.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want the loudest fan you can make. I would prefer if corn played every time I hit the switch.
Yeah.
It's like when someone just turns on the water and you know it's going. Like a lot of
Yeah.
girls do that. I'm
I
like,
do
hey, I know
that.
what's going on in there.
I know you're shitting.
Yeah, I don't have any problem with women taking dumps, but they do. I know women who have they've told me like extravagant stories where they've come up with these cockamamie stories to leave a guy's house, and I'm like, why? Because they have to take a dump. I'm like, you've been banging this guy for weeks now.
Yeah.
I think he knows you have a butthole. But I guess some guys will guilt trip the women over it, which I wouldn't do. But
That would be crazy.
Yeah.
What were you doing in there? They're knocking. What's going on?
Yeah, that actually is. That is the nightmare right there.
That's what they're picturing in their head. They're going, why are you taking so long? I've been timing you.
You can't be combing still, right? I'll do.
Oh, sorry. We should give a rundown for the fans on where you're from and all that.
Oh yeah, I'm from Phoenix. Originally grew up in Arizona. Big desert guy. Have a lot of love for Phoenix. Came to Chicago before I moved to New York, but my mom's side of the family is from New York, so that's why I came here.
Okay.
It was an easy way to get to New York, live with the family for free, and then figure out my way to the city. It was a nightmare. My whole family lives in the same house. It was terrible.
Oh, no way.
My grandma kicked
Really?
me out. She had cameras in the house to spy on us. It was
Really?
insane, dude. She didn't tell me, too. So she'd be like, because she got him because my cousin upstairs was an alcoholic. So they could catch her sneaking down, stealing money from the purse. And then,
And then they just catch you just
then
jerking
they'd be
off on the
like,
couch.
Yeah, exactly.
And they're
They
like,
give me
okay.
like, okay, Jesus Christ. That's why there's plastic on the furniture. But, yeah, they'd be like, "Are you eating the?" Because I would come home and binge, and my grandma's a nasty. I mean, Italian grandmas are just villains, and she would just be like, "You eating all the food?" And I'd be like, "No," and she like roll a tape of like me eating pizza, flipping her picture off, and I'd be like, "All right,
Dude, that's hilarious.
yeah."
The Italians, where I'm from, I had this kid, and he was like a friend of mine. He's shaped like a cube, you know? And his mom would always have like meals. She'd always always have a full Italian sub loaded, the kind that I would just dream about for like when he would come home drunk. But then again, he's also like a crazy blackout, so she probably just didn't want to hear the stuff he would say. So she's like, just shove the sub in his mouth.
Just eat this sub and fall asleep.
Very. What do you call that? When you're like helping the person out with their
enablist,
enabling, very
or
enabling.
ableist, whatever. Yeah,
But now that I get older and I like, if I had a roommate that's crazy, like I'm like that too. You don't want to deal with their insane stuff anymore.
yeah. You'd rather not. It's more work to help because they probably won't get help. So it's like, well, let me just make you a sandwich there.
Yeah. But they were such good sandwiches, loaded, hots, everything. I love a good Italian with the cherry hot pepper spread.
Yeah. I knew eventually, because my grandma eventually kicked me out for espionage. She thought I was spying on her conversations when she called Italy, which was insane. But
Is she in the mob?
No, she just calls her sister all day and bitches. And to me, it's like every Italian. I'm not the biggest fan of the Italian family, because it's just you get together and you talk shit all day, but it's for fun. So she would call Italy all day, and then, I was the newest member of the house, so she would talk shit about me forever. Then Italy would call me and be like, she wants you out, blah, blah, blah. And then they kept telling me to where one day I confronted my grandma. I was like, hey, I know, whoop. She was like, hey, I know you talk this shit. I know what you guys do. Are you serious or not? She melted down. She could not believe.
Are you serious?
That Italy told her that went behind her back. And she started screaming at me, and my aunt was in Aruba, and she heard the screaming through the camera. So now my aunt's screaming at me through the camera. I got two voices coming at me. One's out of the wall, one's my grandma. And she didn't believe that Italy was telling me what she was talking about. She thought I was picking up the other phone and spying in on her conversations. I've never learned a word of Italian in my life.
Just listening all day.
Yeah.
Just like, that's
so
wild,
that's how I got kicked out and moved to the city the first time.
All
how
for the
old were-
best in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I knew she was going to kick me out because she stopped making me food. I would come home to a bowl of pasta every night, and
Wow.
a couple weeks before I got kicked out, there stopped being pasta, and I was like,
bad
"This
sign.
is a sign.
That's when you know an Italian grandmother is done.
There's no
She's
more
done.
sauce.
Yeah, no more gravy.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild.
Yeah, it was nuts. I mean, I still go back, and she kicked me out the second time, but it was my fault.
Why? What did you do?
This is a gross story. I don't know if it's not too gross,
you
but
can
this
tell.
is
We'll just get shadow banned if anything.
It's not too gross, but I got a small bladder. Do you guys have that?
When I'm drinking, as soon as I have noticed that if I'm on dates, like I always go to the bathroom first. It's embarrassing.
Oh, I do it constantly.
Yeah, and then I'll go to the bathroom like 3 times before a lady goes once.
I'll do that.
Yeah.
What about you? How's your blad?
It's good now, but when I was a drinker, I don't think I had it small, but I'm chugging beers, so I'd be urinating all night.
Yeah.
That's why I'm glad I didn't drink in New York, because in Boston, I pee wherever I please, like out on the sidewalk. New York, I always heard about people getting arrested, and then you get charged as being like a pederass. Yeah, they're like, you're a sexual offender. You're like, dude, I was peeing in a park. They're like, yeah, right, buddy.
Yeah, that's what they all say. Peeing in a park. Peeing in whose kid's mouth?
And there's nowhere, you know how it is. There's nowhere to go to the bathroom.
They design it so you can't piss.
Can I use your bathroom? They're like, no, absolutely not.
I've been keeping I have a running list in my phone of places that you can use the bathroom with the codes.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I could send it to you guys.
Yeah, you should start like someone probably has
They're
like
making
a
an
website.
app apparently of like New York City bathrooms. But the Essex Market, the one by Old Man, that has a code that I have, and I use that all the time.
Ooh.
It's pretty good.
There's 2 places at 14th you can use.
Ooh,
The
really?
Barnes & Noble is free, and then there's that German museum, like the Goethe. It's the nicest bathroom in the city.
Really?
Yep.
Okay, good.
It's like right a block up from the stand.
Ooh, I'll
it's
check
amazing.
that out. Okay. Oh, yes, I know that place.
During COVID, one of my things was like, because they shut the city down. I worked all through it.
Okay.
No one was around, and that was like my one luxury. I go, I'm peeing. Any
Nice.
business that closed down, I was peeing right in the doorway.
That's
Even in the
amazing.
day, I was like, "Screw you! This is payback time."
Just on the
In front of
closed
Chase
door?
Bank.
Yeah, they were they went under. You know what I mean? I'm like, it's not like just because they were not open like during those hours. That's disgusting. It was businesses that went under, and I knew they weren't arresting for anything because I was watching the homeless shenanigans. I was like, I almost wanted to get arrested to just tape it. Like, you're arresting me? This bums over there they have a dumpster on fire. They're roasting rats. Which actually is a story that I heard from a guy that is not fake. He came to the park where he hung out, and he knew this bum. This bum would always be chilling. He was barbecuing, and he's like, "Yo, man, you want?" He had skewers. He's like, "You want it? You want it?" And he was thinking like, he goes, "What is?" He goes, "These are rats." He was barbecuing rats at like Thompson Square Park.
I feel like you should need so he's just surviving off rat meat, huh?
Dude.
Yeah, I mean, my problem isn't even eating rats. Like if we lived in the jungle, but those rats have probably been poisoned.
Yeah.
There's poison everywhere in the city.
Yeah, dude. The stuff that they're eating they've been accustomed to like living through would kill us immediately.
Oh, yeah. And they're just running through piss. You're running through your piss at the doorway.
Oh yeah.
That's a weird chopped
You ever
cheese.
seen like a bald rat in the subway? One of the scariest
Oh,
things
no,
you'll ever
I've
see in
never
your
seen a
life.
bald one.
Oh, it's so scary.
Like,
I
what do you
hate
mean, like a
rats, man.
disheveled one?
It's like hairs fall off. You know, it's
Yeah.
like just, ugh.
Dude, there's I have stray cats in my backyard. I have a little backyard that I'm not allowed to use it. It's the landlords or whatever. But there's like 5 cats, and one of them I call Death Kitty because it looks like it died 10 years ago. I have no idea how it's working. I have a video of it today, and it comes out every time my girlfriend leaves, and it's just this. It looks like, I feel like it's a ghost because I'm the only one that's seen it. And one time I came in my backyard and I threw trees to it because I'm like, this cat's fucking got the plague. And there was another. I was wearing a flannel. There was another guy in the backyard wearing a flannel, and I was like, "You feed this cat?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "This is Death Kitty." And he's like, "That's Tina." And I was like, "All right, you know it way more than I do.
That's
You gave it a
Tina.
name."
A lot of stray cats in this neighborhood. I don't know if you've noticed, Dylan.
I haven't. In the backyard, yes, I have. There's a couple that roam the fence line.
Ooh.
You know, they just walk on the fence.
But there's also a lot of wild rats here, so it's like
Yeah.
kind of a balance. We need that.
I hate walking there's like that, walking up to the J, there's like that 2-block run. I walk in the middle of the road because it's just rats running across the sidewalk.
Christ.
That's
I
what
walk
happens
in the
when the
middle of the
sidewalks
road.
collapse. They never tell you why, but it's because the rats have dug under
We've
it
talked
so
about
much.
this, dude. Yeah. Just burrowing out, just like caverns of rats.
Oh, so gross.
That's a terrible way to go. Just falling into a pit of rats. In the middle of New York, you got your
And
suit
you
on,
just get swallowed.
going to a job interview, and then it's just like, you never made it.
Yeah, Charles, where did you start comedy? Did you start in Arizona or
I
Chicago?
started in Arizona. I did like 5 years in Arizona.
Oh, no way.
Did all that. There was a good scene when I was starting. There was a lot of clubs there, so you could get up at the clubs and get that experience young.
So
which
you
was
get
cool.
you get a decent amount of time, like 5 to 10.
5 to 10, same thing, 20 if you're featuring. But then there was also a House of Comedy, which is Canadian, and their rules are reversed. So the host does 20.
Wow.
So
that's
then
nice.
you get then you start learning how to be comfortable as a 20-minute host. And that's what I valued a lot was the House of Comedy. I'll still go back and do that. But and they pay double. So it's like you're getting $500 to host. And it's nice.
Are you kidding?
That's
great.
And then it's
That's
like
amazing.
that's how I met other comics, bigger comics in New York, because I'll go out when those big guys headline, and I'll message the dude and just like, let me host. Especially at the House of Comedy, there's not a green room, so they're forced to watch. And I'll be like, either if I'm good or if they like me. I've had a couple be like, okay, I'll take you on the road.
Yeah.
And I think the no green room has benefited me a lot. Because worst case, they'll just be like, hey, I'll see you in New York, and they'll give me a wave in New York. And others have been like, hey, you can do 20? Sure, I'll take you on the road. I've gone to New Jersey, just local gigs with other comics. And I thought it was a great. Now I don't know. I don't know how the scene is, but when I was there were a lot of good comics. And then Chicago, I was just an awkward kid. I worked at the train station. My boss got caught for having upskirt cameras in his shoes. And they shut
in
the
his
place.
shoes?
In his shoes, dude.
Holy shit.
Just going under dresses.
That's
never heard of
wild.
the internet? What's wrong
That's
with
what
this
I
guy?
said. I was like, go online. I think he just like the thrill of it.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And it was weird. I didn't know too many people in Chicago. I met Eric Scott, and then I came out here. But you guys are both Boston dudes.
Well, I'm from Long Island, but I started comedy in Boston.
Got it. Okay.
And
me
that's
too.
where I met Mike.
Okay.
I'm from Boston, started in Boston. I thought it was a little bit similar to Chicago when I visited Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
Like the scene was, at the time when I started, it was a good scene to start on. Not as good as it sounds like with yours time-wise, but it was like minimum 5-minute sets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm comparing this to New York open mics. And there could be audience at certain, if you knew once.
Yeah.
Like when I came here, there was like, no, there's zero chance of audience.
Yep.
And then they switched more recent to 2-minute mics, and they're paid.
I
It's
remember
like,
that.
I got to pay to
$5.
bomb for 2 minutes in front of these incel psychotics.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah, $5 to do 3
It makes
minutes.
you either it's do or die. That's what I liked about New York. It broke if it doesn't break you, you have a good chance of keep going, because it's more of like can you get through like the social sadness?
Yeah, you're
of it?
right.
It's not fun.
No, it's not fun at all. It's demoralizing.
Yeah.
You're on the subway, so sad. And then dude, yesterday I was on the subway having a rough day. My scooter died on the bridge, and I had to like hard kick it. And then I get on the subway. 6 teenagers come on. One of the doors is open, so they can go back, and they get on the loudspeaker, and they're like, "We're gonna kill you all. This is from Mother Russia." And they start flicking the lights on and
Dude,
off.
were you on? It was on the NW?
Yes.
It was on the end? No joke. Someone else who I'm talking to texted me that she was on that train yesterday.
I was on it.
That's crazy.
I saw the kids, and it was like, as being me, I was like, I want to throw my backpack at this fucking asshole. But there's 6 teens. And I'm like, well, 6, they could probably take me.
They were on your
these teens
train?
are
They were on my car.
Some of these teens now, they're super violent. It's not like back in the day, like they're gonna kill you.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna. When they said the Russia thing, I was like, all right, is this real? I was like, Russia is happening. And they were speaking a weird language. It didn't seem Russian. They kept making a lot of G noises, and I've never heard it before. I thought it was like their own teen code.
Did you stay on the train?
We stopped on the before. Yeah, I stayed on the train, and then they stayed on the train, and all I could do was look at them. I had no other, because I was like, I also had a dead scooter, and I was like, they're gonna steal my scooter if I do anything to them. But I really wanted to just, I don't know what, I wanted to throw something at them, because we stopped for like 20 minutes.
That's so annoying.
Yeah, my plan was if the cops came on the train to tattle on them. Like,
They never got in trouble?
nobody got in
That's
trouble.
so
Yeah, they got off the train and ran away and did it to another train.
The big fear with the tattling on them in this city is you tattle and the cops just get off.
Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
you and because the cops in New York are like that. I remember I told some guy about something that was going on. It wasn't a person. It was like a spike in the road, like a huge 9-inch thing. And he was like, "Oh yeah, there's a spike in the road. Oh, okay, all right, buddy." I'm like, "What do you think? I pulled over and made this up?"
Yeah.
They're so lazy.
Yeah, they don't give a shit. I saw one time this really happened. I saw a homeless guy who had like the like a leaf. Like it looked like he was dropped off from an island. He had like a leaf, a hula skirt, and he had this really tall walking stick. And then he got in front of this like Midtown, and he goes into a bodega. The bodega owner is like, "What the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck!" Like he like pushed this guy. He's like, "Get the fuck out of my with what are you? What are you, an islander?" And then the guy starts sharpening the walking stick on the sidewalk, gets into warrior crouch, and starts like doing this, like I'm gonna fucking throw my spear at you.
Oh.
And the bodega guy just was being a classic. He was like, "Fucking spear me, bitch!" Like he was egging him on. And then a couple of minutes of that went by, and then the Islander guy gave up, went into the middle of the street, laid down in the middle of a midtown street, and a cop came over and just put a cone on him. And then they just walked away. It was crazy. Cop didn't do one thing, and the cars were just like, all right, and just drove around this guy laying down in the middle of the street.
That's so funny.
Classic New York tale.
Oh God! Let's just do the least thing possible. Just put a little marker.
Yeah.
Don't hit this guy.
I wonder if he's related to the
gotta keep
homeless
doing
guy
that.
who there used to be a homeless guy. I've never seen this guy. A lot of people have. His thing is he used to threaten to kill himself, and he'd like lay down either on the street or the train tracks. But it was all
Jesus.
part of his routine. And like, another classic New York homeless guy came. He goes, "Hey, he does this bullshit every Tuesday. This is all crap. Don't give him any money."
So you give him money so he doesn't kill
Yeah,
himself?
he'd ask for money. No one would give him money, and then he goes, "All right, fine. I'm gonna kill myself."
Dude, I almost got scammed. I told you this. I almost got scammed like 3 weeks ago. I was walking with a friend, and we were walking in the West Village. I'm pretty good. I kind of know when
Wasn't
these
that a
scams
date?
happen.
But it's now changed into a friend.
Well, Michael, things have changed from the last time we spoke, and now it's not someone I'm seeing
That's
anymore.
cool.
Okay.
But we were walking. We had just met, but we're walking, and we're a little drunk, and we're going to the pair, and this old man bumped into her
I've had
and
that.
dropped his Chinese food.
Yep.
And dropped his food all over, and I was like. And I'm a little drunk, so I didn't really realize, but he didn't look homeless. He just looked old, and he's kind of like, "Oh no, my food! Oh, I can't. This is the only thing I was gonna eat." And I was like, "Oh, did he hit you?" And she's like, "I don't know. I like thought I was walking, and then I was like, fuck, I feel like I'm gonna have to give him something." We just knocked like $10 maybe. We just knocked his food down, and one of the dudes like across the street who's always like dealing drugs and shit walks by and he goes, "Scam, scam, scam. It's a scam." And I was like,
Nice.
he goes, yeah, he fucking does this all the time. And I was like, wow, I almost got had by that guy.
So my whole thing, I'm wondering, is he picking that Chinese food out of the dumpster or is he buying it?
I think he's picking it.
I think it's a dumpster.
Yeah, because if he's buying it, it's kind of like a
Yeah, then it's an ROI effect. Like, I gotta,
I will say we walked out like a half an hour later after a couple drinks, and all of it was gone off the sidewalk. So I think he probably scooped it back in.
Jesus.
Oh.
Like all the rice was picked up. He's out there with like
grain,
little,
yeah, tweezers.
every grain, dude.
I had one of those happen once with a hamburger. The guy, he almost tackled me, and then he was like, "Oh, my fucking burger," and I was like, "No, you need to make it a little more nonchalant."
He was good. This guy played it off really well.
That's great.
And then we were just like, oh, you're scamming? Okay, sorry, dude. You messed up.
Mm-hmm.
And we just walked away, and he was like, "You pieces of shit." Like, yeah, sorry, But yeah, when you grew up, so I've been watching Breaking Bad and actually Better Call Saul, which I know is not Arizona, but is Arizona similar to New Mexico in the drug? Is there a lot of drugs down there? Is there a lot of
No.
alcohol?
I think there's just a lot of the part of Arizona that I grew up in. I grew up in the normal and then like the west side where the Cardinals Stadium is. There wasn't a lot of drugs. It's just known for like the Scottsdale douchebag. There's like a lot of money in Scottsdale.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of Scottsdale
Yeah.
a lot.
It's a big bachelorette thing. Like you go down, there's like people are on golf carts. Those are like the TikToks that blow up. Like you're in Scottsdale with a golf cart going crazy. So it's kind of just you're living in the suburbs, but it's the
kinda love that,
desert.
dude.
It's a really great place to grow
I
up.
feel like I would totally fit in
Oh,
there.
it's great. You go to you go there, you get hammered. There's a lot of coke.
Yeah,
A lot of coke, but
golf
nobody's
carts, getting wasted,
Yeah.
in the suburbs. That's
Yeah.
my vibe.
It's great. And then you go down to like Mesa has a lot of drugs, like Far East.
Okay.
When you get into the desert, like a lot of times in Arizona, when it's summer, you're like, "Oh, I live in a fucking desert. I forgot about that." Because you're like, other times you're like, "Oh, this is the suburbs," and then it's 120. Because my cousins are like, "What are you, a fucking cowboy with your pistol?" And I'm like, "No," but my dad now lives in like the cowboy part of town.
Really? Mm-hmm. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, there's like javelinas and Gila monsters in the backyard. But it really was there's just a lot of, I grew up pretty normal, but yeah, the Scottsdale money was around me. All the fancy malls and all that stuff. So it was fun to grow up in.
Yeah.
Had a lot of fun, but I was just like an outside kid, blew stuff up every day. Like one of those, did a lot of shoplifting, did a lot of car hopping.
Oh, shit.
And
Okay.
then,
Yeah, I was going to say, what kind of kid were you? Did you get in trouble a lot?
I got in trouble a lot. Well, I was grounded like every week. I still had like I've been grounded for seasons before. And yeah, I was just like a kid who played with all the neighborhood kids, but the neighborhood kids were like, "Hey, let's go steal this. Let's go blow this up. Let's go." It was never my idea, but I was like, "All right, I'll go steal this. I'll go blow this up. I'll go." And I was just like the kid. It was like a little movie. Like every time anybody got caught, it was me. Anytime somebody got arrested, it was me. And so that was
You've been arrested?
Yeah, I was arrested for stealing jeans. It was so embarrassing.
As a kid, not even stealing candy, just stealing jeans.
Stealing jeans, dude. I went to the same store every day. Every week, basically. We stole jeans because I had my best friends. One was a year older than me, and the other was 2 years older than me. And when I got into high school, I was just, like braces, big backpack, awkward. And the one 2 years older than me was still kind of a douche, but he got with women, and he dressed all Affliction shirt and stuff like that.
Okay,
and he was like,
I totally know it.
Yeah, V-necks and skulls and stuff. And he told us if we started wearing expensive clothes, it'd make girls want to hook up with us. So we immediately just started stealing like $300 jeans every week.
What was the store?
We stole from Neiman Marcus. We stole Rockin' Republic jeans. Those that had like R's on the back.
Yeah.
And we literally thought it was like going to be a spell. Like I thought women were going to talk to us. And then I went back every weekend and just stole a bunch of jeans. And then eventually cops followed me, and I didn't know that there was an undercover cop. I didn't know what that was.
Secret shopper?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, they'll get you, man.
And there was two dudes in like pink shirts. So I was like 16. So I was just like, oh, these gay guys like me. And then they tackled me when I left the store, and I was like, they really like me. And then they took me to jail for a day. I was grounded for the summer. And when I was with my dad owns a pool company, so I got the Shia LaBeouf. He would take me to clean on his pool routes, and I would just dig holes. It was a nightmare.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
Holy shit. How old were you when this happened?
I think it was like 15. I was the week after I got my first blowjob too, and the girl was like, we're gonna do a lot more. And then
you're like, sorry, well, it turns out that the gene things worked.
Yeah, exactly.
Must have worked, dude.
Yeah, well, I think that was Whippets. I'll give credit to.
Are you doing Whippets still?
I did some Whippets. Yeah, did some Whippets. Did some salvia.
Oh shit!
Did you guys do any of that?
Yeah, I didn't. Michael does
a lot of Whippets.
Whippets were hilarious.
I had a problem with Whippets.
Yeah, you get blue
kind of
lips.
like you guys with the eating.
Yeah,
like every time I would black out, Whippets,
and
I'd wake up. I wasn't even enjoying them. I'd wake up and like there'd just be 3 ice,
canisters
just leaking all over the place.
Yeah.
My mom found them. She found like 10 in a closet, just all like discharged.
That's so
and
funny.
I think I said we had like me and the boys had like a Sunday party or something. Like, it's a weird thing, and especially my parents are foreigners too. It's like a weird. There's something suspicious about it, but you're like, what the hell are they into?
Yeah, what are you doing?
So it's whipped cream.
Yeah,
that was before the those little chargers.
Yeah, you put a balloon.
Yeah, my buddy had one of those, and that was when things turned sour because he would have them just driving. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we did them driving
He'd
too.
be passing them to everybody.
Jesus,
that's how we did them too.
Don't they make you pass out?
No.
I thought they.
I think you can pass out if you take a lot of them. But then in recent years, I watched like Steve-O, and I was like, dude, I have way too much in common with Steve-O. Which is like, I want nothing in common with Steve-O.
Oh God.
Yeah, even on the positive side of life, you're like, I don't know if he seems like a weirdo. But
he's in the dark. He's on the dark side. I was more like trying to have fun, but I mean, then you do get into like. But back, if I had met up with Steve-O, I would have been like, dude, we would have been late night buddies. You ever had like guys at parties? You don't even get along until you're in your total zone of borderline blackout because you're like, this guy will do I'll do anything. And then you're like, it's a weird relationship.
Yeah, we had a guy who went overboard on Whippets, and then I think he got stuck. You could see the brain cells. He went really hard on Whippets for a summer, and then he just had blue lips all the time. And you know what I mean? You see when the lips go blue, and you're like, you're gone, dude.
What was the thing kids did? I never got into it. It was this was when the balloons came into effect. So people would have a tank, like a party, and it was called like I don't know what it was. So they'd fill a balloon up. You'd fill the bong with smoke, and then you take the balloon, and you put it in the pipe hole, so it forces the smoke out into your. But it's like a rush, and then all nitrous, and that you could easily pass out or puke from. And I didn't even do those. I was like, dude, that's enough. I'll take one at a time. I can take one of those bong hits. One thing we would do, this one kid, he'd never shut up. So we'd fill the bong up with cigarette tobacco smoke, yellow it, and we'd make him take it and give him $5. He would always hit the ground, pass out, just be like, ooh, puking. And when you look back on it, like there was no mercy with our crew.
Yeah.
You just watch them struggling for it. I can't breathe. I'm gonna die, and everyone's just laughing and pointing at you.
Here's $5, pussy.
I can't breathe. Jesus.
And they wouldn't pay him, because these guys are real dirtbags. But it was fun.
We had a neighbor who, the same buddy who told me to steal jeans, he was a paintballer. And he would do things if we wanted to, because he was like the cool guy with the house parties
Mm-hmm.
and the girls would come over on the block. And then if we wanted to do something cool or like, I don't remember what it was, but he would like be like, all right, get over there in the backyard. And then he would just fucking shoot you with paintballs. I just have memories of my buddy like getting something, I don't know, like I don't know what it was, but just my buddy was like, all right, go over against the wall and just pelted him.
Dude.
And he put his hand in an anthill once. The kid was an idiot.
Your childhood sounds a lot like mine. Paintballing, skateboarding, running around outside. Very similar to Long Island.
You're an outside kid?
I was an outside kid, yeah.
Yeah, that's the best way to do it, I think.
Yeah, we used to, probably from like, 7 to like 14, I was outside all the time.
Yeah, same.
And then whenever high school is. And then high school, you're kind of like, you become an inside kid, I feel like. I did at least.
Yeah, I was just more grounded. I
had a buddy who was always grounded. I always felt bad because the rest of our crew, except for this one guy, we had no curfew from like 13 on. Like we would just the weekends. Like I would never see my parents. I think I would check in the next day sometimes, but we'd just be roaming. But he would always get caught and be grounded, and I always felt bad because we were wild and none of us would ever else get caught.
Yeah, my buddies never got in trouble, and I was always like, God damn it! But then I think they got ego. I think they became so. I was always like a little bit cautious because I was like, fuck, if we get caught, it's gonna be me. And then those kids some of my best friends that never got grounded. And this is my theory to make myself feel better, that like never understood the rules. They got their asses beat at some parties. And I was like, you went too far.
Yeah.
You can't go that far. You're going to get punched in the face.
Yeah, you definitely, I meet people who are like, who do that, and or you see them in like the West Village, or you talk to people and you're like, oh, you've never been hit. That's why. You've never been punched.
Yeah, they have that weird ego. You can talk to me like that. But
and I have that also, but I see it and I recognize it.
Yeah, you were talking to this dude. We went to the bar. That was so funny when we were at the sandwich shop. You're talking to this the guy with the ring, the guy who had a wife who was talking to that girl at Joey DeRosa's.
Oh yeah,
this
dude.
Guy, I thought you were gonna fight that guy.
Oh no, this guy. Oh yeah, we were at the sandwich shop. We're drinking. We're having some, and we're talking to this girl. But this guy, as soon as it was me, you, and Ray, and then this girl is sitting at the bar, and we started talking to her, just like chatting, just like casual, and we're being silly. We're like flirting, but it's three of us, and and then all of a sudden, as soon as we started talking to her, this guy comes like running over. As if like, oh, no, I've been talking to her, but I haven't the last hour, but you guys can't talk to her. I was like, that's so weird. So I just started being like, I noticed he had a ring on his finger. I was like, oh, you guys married? And he's like, and she's like, no. And I was like, oh, are you married? And he's like, yeah. Yeah, and I was like, "Where's your wife, dude?" And I was just like chirping at him. I'm like, and then every time like he would like say something, I'll be like, "Dude, when's your wife coming out? Call your wife, get her out here, dude."
She would love this story.
He's like clearly like flirting, and I'm like, "Dude, get your wife over here, man. What's going on?"
You kept like shooing him away. It was so funny. Dylan would say something, and he'd go in the background, and then like 10 minutes would go by, and he'd come back. It was a great time.
Oh, it was very fun. Yeah, I definitely have that sometimes where I'm like, But I'm silly enough where I'm not, it's not in an aggressive way, but I'm like, yeah, definitely, I'm going to do that to the wrong person and definitely get hit. I was out the other night after the show, and there's this guy in the East Village who he's friends with one of the bartenders, and he dresses like a vampire. And I was telling the bartender that, and I was like, why does he dress like a vampire? What's going on? And then I had more to drink, and he came back, and I was like, dude, what's going on with this vampire look? And thank God he found it funny, because he walked in, and he had these rings on, like rings on all his hands, and they're like fucking pointy. He's letting me try his rings on. And then I asked him, I'm like, dude, you walked in here with a rose, just a single rose, like, what is this fucking nightmare fantasy that you're working with? And he goes, and he was just like laughing and stuff, but like, I look at that, I'm like, thank God he found it funny.
Oh, yeah.
Otherwise, he's just gonna murder me.
Well, he would have cast a spell on you for sure. I mean,
man,
there's probably your picture in a pentagon in his living room at home.
It's possible.
What was his? What did he say? Like, I'm just into vampires.
Yeah, he's just like, I just living my life, and
Did he have the contacts in?
No.
That would be
those
wild.
Freak me out with those weird.
Yeah, I don't like
weird-eyed contacts.
Yeah.
I just don't like it.
You'd know who it is. I'll tell you after. Well, it doesn't matter.
Is he a comedian too?
No. He's
he books stand up New York.
Have you heard of the Comedy Cellar? No. But yeah, that's not a bad confidence either. But it can get you hit.
I mean, I feel like you're going to, that's a good confidence to have for sure. I mean, I don't think I almost got into a fight. I filmed a fight in New York and they came up to me.
Oh
yeah.
Right after.
You a cop?
What?
What did they say?
Well, it was like 6 teenagers again, like harassing this homeless guy. And then this homeless guy finally was like, that's it. And he took off his shirt and was like, let's fucking go. And I was like, well, I'm going to film this. And then all the kids were like, are you filming this? And I was like, oh, I got to go. And I just started walking away with my headphones in. And then they all ran up to me and like pulled me back. And they were like, were you fucking filming? And I was like, yeah, guys, because if you film a homeless person fighting and you get in trouble and you go to court and they see that the homeless person's in a fight, the homeless guy always loses. And they're like, good looking out. And I was like, thank God you guys are stupid and 15. Or I would have had tiny little fists just pound me into the pavement.
I think you got to yell world star.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
And then they're like, oh, I'm a celebrity.
Oh, I was afraid to yell that. I thought that was a bad thing.
I don't know. I think they would have loved it.
I think they go, yeah.
Yeah, I figured if you guys fought, I would send it to World Star. That would be great.
Okay, maybe I'll say that next time.
I mean, the court thing's hilarious.
Yeah, I made it up. I was like, woo, thank God I can riff.
Yeah. There's so many things I've wanted to tape, but I knew I'd get confronted on the train. If I'm in a bad enough mood one day, I'll do it.
Yeah, you ever do the fake answer the phone? You film and you go, hello? In whatever direction the action's happening?
No.
You got to do it.
I usually just silently what's going on? I'll just pretend I'm disappointed and I'm just like, what's happening? Like these kids who were fucking about to light up a joint again, it's 15-year-old kids gonna light up a joint and I'm like, they keep talking. They're like, let's just light it here. And I'm the only one in the car. And I'm like, please don't. Please don't.
I hate this
Just
smoking
wait till
on a
you
train.
Get off the train, please.
I'll leave immediately. A lot of time, most of the time, I've been having this strike of bad luck where someone's smoking on the train often.
Well, I think there's a huge uptick in train smoking.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Train smoking.
We got to get AOC
I see
on
it all
this.
the time.
I see it all the time. Someone offered me one the other day. This homeless guy was like, you want to drag? And I was like, all right, man. No.
I don't know why it doesn't bother me. I find it very amusing for some reason because sometimes they stare at me and they want me to be mad, and then I'm like smiling and laughing, and it throws them off. The only time I got mad was some guy rolled up a bone of what smelled like kind of like Ajax, and that's the only time I've ever got off. I was like, dude, it was straight chemicals. I was like, I am out of here.
Yeah, I don't like that. We were on the train that time. The kid was, oh no, I left you, and I get on the train and the kid just lights up full car, just lights up a cigarette and stands there and looks around.
Jesus.
And is like, I dare someone to say something. I dare you. And then he gets off like a stop later and the conductor comes out. It was a conductor car too. And he goes, who's smoking on the train? And I was like, yeah, great timing, dude. He fucking got off.
I saw one guy light up once and then this regular guy, it was a big guy, and he goes, fucking put that cigarette out. And then the other guy goes, what the fuck are you going to do about it? And then the guy pulls out a badge and he goes, what the fuck's up? It was great.
Oh, I love that
Put out
so
the cigarette.
much.
It was awesome.
You know what? That's probably why they're smoking so much is they know they got rid of the undercover units.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
maybe.
They got rid of them during COVID.
Really?
Yeah, remember defund? That was the first thing to go. Was,
They did tell me.
Jesus.
I will say, I had mixed feelings about getting rid of the undercovers because they do stop a lot of crime, but I also feel like those guys are legitimate, actual criminals. Like when they're hooked on drugs a lot of time. They're like, oh no, it's part of the role, but it's like, no, you're a junkie, dude. You're hooked. They're stopping some crime, but they're also committing and probably facilitating crime as well.
Well, I told you, I got stopped by 3 undercovers at 3 a.m. at Broadway Junction. I missed my train and I got stuck out there. And the 3 guys, 3 undercovers, and they surrounded me. I thought I was getting jumped. I was watching videos that Jack Burke sends me of the 2 kids with Down syndrome who do the cooking. Have you seen this, dude? It's great. But I was watching Theo Vaughn react to their videos, and I was dying. And all of a sudden, these 3 guys surround me. 3 a.m. I'm the only one on the platform. I thought I was getting jumped, and he pulls out a badge, and he's like, "You can't vape on the platform." I thought they were joking. I thought they were kidding, and I was like, "Oh, really?" And nope, yeah.
Jesus.
But they said they're not allowed to go on the train. So I think that they're maybe allowed to be undercover, but they can't go on the train.
That's strange. So they can kind of just police from the shore.
Yeah, they
exactly.
can collect your beaten body when you get pummeled on the train.
Yeah, but they can't step foot. They just got to
They'll
drag
charge you
off.
with like bleeding on the platform.
Could
They're
you
like,
hand
"Hey,
him?
You bled all over the platform. That's a fine,
give
sir."
him a little roll, dude.
Yeah. We need
Oh my
to
God.
collect him, please.
I've seen so many fights in New York, and and back whenever I've seen other fights in other cities, like kind of something will break it up, and like it just doesn't get broke up till like that.
Oh,
It's like you know what I mean. No one intervenes. It is what it is. You live or die.
Yep. I've seen 2 of those right after COVID when people are out. I saw 2 fights. One, I think the guy may be dead. The second one I saw, it was this dude. This guy had to be drunk. This like little Mexican like Uber Eats guy walks into this bodega, and there's massive bodybuilder. Like this guy had like a career bodybuilder, and he like reaches for something over the bodybuilder, and the bodybuilder goes, "Don't touch me," and throws him across into me. And I was like, that's fine by me. Don't. And then the guy's like, "Don't you fucking touch me." And then the little Mexican guy gets mad, and he goes back up to him, and he's like, and then he goes up to him again, and he picks him up, and he throws him in a trash can. Threw him in and then he took his cell phone out of his pocket, gave it to the bodega guy, and he goes, "Don't let him have that for a little bit, or I'll fucking kill him." And I was like, "Oh my God.
Oh my
wow.
God."
And then I saw a
the
guy the shit beat out of him on the streets. Yeah, I work for a moving company, and this guy they used the truck to just...
Holy shit.
Yeah, it was nuts. It was gruesome.
Dude, that's
I
brutal.
don't really like watching street fights.
No, it was...
I will watch, but I don't thoroughly enjoy it. You know, especially like if it's a fair fight, I don't mind. But fighting on the street's more dangerous than some people know.
Yeah.
I've talked to some women that have no clue. They think like it's they're like, "Oh, if I was a guy, I'd love to be a guy, just walk up and punch this girl I don't like in the face." They don't understand how. I'm like, it's pretty dangerous fighting on the street. First of all, you hit the concrete, you can die easily. It's not as fun as I think people who haven't been in a fight think.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more...
Plus, it's exhausting. Like 3 minutes of a fight is like running a marathon. It's a lot of energy, a lot of adrenaline.
I've never been in a street fight.
Me neither. I've gotten in like 1 or 2 fake fights in college, but barely.
I think I've seen more street fights in New York than I have anywhere in my life.
Yeah, probably.
Seen them at comedy shows. One time there was a guy like heckling a comedian, I think, at this place 5 Spot. And this guy wasn't a comedian. He was sitting at the bar ignoring the show, and they just went outside and they went at it like Rocky. You know, it was a good one. Like but they were going into in traffic, in the middle of the street with the traffic, going into the cars, bashing. One guy was short and stocky, but they were good, and no one got like killed. I don't want to see someone, like in a wheelchair after it.
That's what we saw when we were at. I went on that bachelor party over COVID. We were in LA. And a little south of LA, Redondo Beach.
When you weren't you crying?
No, no, dude. So we have 2 of our friends who are kind of like fighters. They grew up similar to Mike in these areas of Boston where everybody's a little bit tougher, dude. You know,
I didn't get them. I don't want the people on the thing to think I'm like a street
fighter. But I'm saying like your friends, like I grew up in an area where like kids kind of fought, but not really, dude. I wish I went to a harder school, dude. I went to private school and I hear stories. I don't have any good stories. My story is like I got detention because I, got into a water fight on the school bus, dude. And no one got hurt. We just got wet for a little bit and I got detention for that. So I don't have good stories. But so my experience with it was me and Luke were the only ones. We jumped in the middle of this fight to try to break it up. Because, dude, this guy was wasted. He was probably homeless. He's a kid, though. He's younger. And these 3 kids beat the shit out of him, dude. I have a video of it because we were walking by and I was just I started kind of filming it as I walked by. And, dude, this kid gets hit in the face so hard, goes down, hits the ground so hard. And then the kid starts hitting him and his head is bouncing off the cement. And then his other buddy comes in and starts kicking him in the head. And that's when I just kind of instinctual. I just ran in and pushed these guys off. And I know you should never get involved, obviously, but I was drinking too.
Yeah.
But they were going to kill this kid.
Yeah.
And then the cops came. The kid was all fucked up, gets up and walks away. And the cops stop him. They were going to arrest him. And they were like, "No, dude, it's he just got his shit kicked."
Damn,
that's.
But crazy. It was crazy. And then our 2 friends who were a little bit harder grew up in these neighborhoods. Both me and Luke were both kind of the whole night. We were just dude, that was insane. That was really intense, wasn't it? And our other 2 friends are like, "Not really, dude. Sometimes when you run your mouth, you almost die." And I was like, Good God, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
I almost broke up a fight in Washington Heights. I never get involved with these. There's like a abandoned building near my house where these homeless guys used to live. And I just remember I was like, they're going to kill this guy. And I was like, I thought at first he was kind of the victim, but then I got closer and I heard a little bit of the story. he had robbed everybody. He was like the worst guy. So then I was like, oh, this is going to work itself out. And because they had knives out.
Oh.
And I just didn't want him to, but like when I got near it, I just somehow realized that he was maybe it was like they were all bad guys. That's what they don't have in the movies is like, well, actually, I think they kind of do now. It's like there used to be good guy, bad guy. Now it's like, you're all bad guys.
Yeah.
So just you all die. Who cares?
You just let them all work themselves out.
Washington Heights was where I seen the most like open crime I've
Yeah.
ever lived in my life. It wasn't violent when I lived there. It was a lot of I don't know if it's coke. It wasn't coke. It's something you cook up and smoke because they'd be cooking it on the sidewalk like in the day.
Crack.
I probably meth. Could be I don't know, crack too.
Yeah, it's a good day for meth. Today's a good day for meth. It's
I know.
A great
I can't
day
wait to
out.
get outside after
Oh,
this.
so
I've heard
nice.
it's beautiful.
It's
I haven't been outside yet.
Great day.
Very excited. Did you do? Because you drink now, right?
Me?
Yeah.
I drink occasionally,
Okay.
but I don't go too hard.
Do you have any stories where big drinker, drugs when you were younger? Crazy things that
No, I didn't
happened?
really. No, I mean, I had some stories. Nothing about getting too drunk. You know what I was? I was a weird kid on the. I was obsessed with fitness as a kid. I was like obsessed. I was
It's a good thing to be
I did,
obsessed
like,
about.
3,000 sit-ups a day. So as a teenager,
Seriously?
I was doing them wrong. So I used to this kid with this thick neck because you're doing sit-ups. So I just had this huge neck growing up. But I did anytime there was a commercial, I would do 50 sit-ups. If I put something in a microwave, I'd do 50 sit-ups. I would do.
Oh, wow.
I was upset. It was a bad thing, I was obsessed with being a fit kid. And the last time I blacked out, though, I blacked out in Alaska over a few months ago, and I came to throwing up pico de gallo or salsa in a bathtub. And then it didn't drain because it's fucking salsa. And I had to scoop it all out. It was disgusting. Yeah.
Oh, that's brutal.
I had a teacher try and bang me. I was one of those
Oh,
kids.
yeah. Oh, dude, I forgot of this.
Female?
Yeah,
Can you tell the
that's
story?
cool. Yeah. I'll tell the story. Is she was just a cool teacher. She was probably like 34, so she wasn't super old. She didn't have the you know what I mean when they eventually
arms
get
start
the
to
chicken.
go?
She didn't have any of that. She didn't have a wing
Yeah.
yet, and she was just a cool teacher. I had her for math, and then I was in student government, so I could kind of like come in late and be like, oh, I was planning an assembly, but I was just, walking around school. And then I graduated. I don't know how she got my number, but she texted me one day and said she had a dream about me with a wink. And like old school pre-emoji wink. So it wasn't like an accident.
So this is after graduation. You're 18 years old.
Yeah, I'm 18.
And she's like 35, 36,
35.
34. Okay.
Yeah, she has 2 kids. She has a husband.
Oh, my God.
And I remember getting the text and like dropping the phone because I was like, this is like what everybody wants. But I was so stunned. And I went along with it for a little bit because I was nervous. I was
Yeah.
awkward with women until I was like 24, I would say.
Yeah.
And she texted me for months about these dreams.
Stop.
And she would never tell me the full dream, but it would always be like a wink. And I'd be like, all right.
And you're
well,
texting her back, like,
I'd be
kind
like,
of.
tell me about this dream. I probably wasn't doing that good of a job. I can't imagine being 34 and texting an 18-year-old and I'm up to par with like, sexting.
You're like, were we planning the prom?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
What electives did I sign up for?
What was the theme? So texting for months.
Texting for a couple of months. I worked at a yogurt shop. And then one day she comes in. It's a slow day. She pulls up. She gets out of the car. She has her child, like a 3-year-old child, a wife beater, brand new boobs, implants. Where they're like still frozen.
Wow.
She comes in with no bra, and I'm like, all right. Well, she obviously wants to show me these. So I was like, okay, play it cool. So you got to mention the tits. And then she gets her yogurt. As she's leaving, I said, hey, did you get a haircut? And then she was like, no. And I was like, well, something's different. And then she came up to me, and she's like, we should go to a hotel tomorrow. And I was like, let's do it. And then
Oh, get out of here.
she texted me the next day. I was friends with another kid, big, like, super strict genius kid. who
Yeah.
just was not down. And then we got the text, and she was with another teacher at the hotel, and they invited us both over. We hung out in the lazy river for like a few hours. And
With them?
Yeah, and she was like, "Look at these tits," and I was like, "Oh my god!" I was just freaking out the whole time. And then she got to the point where she was like, "I have alcohol in my room," so she invited us to the room. And I don't know what we said. That part of the story's gone in my brain. I just remember getting out of the pool and being like, "Well, I don't think we're having sex." I don't know if we said something that screwed it up.
Holy
and then
shit.
We go home, and then the next day, the husband starts cussing me out on Facebook. And, I was 18, so I was just like, "Your fucking wife dreams about me, you fucking asshole. Fuck you. Eat my dick." And
Holy shit.
He started coming at me for a while, which is understandable. He just went through his phone, probably suspecting his wife's cheating on him with a man. And then he maybe Googles me, and my high school yearbook picture comes up, swim team captain.
Wow.
And, so I was like, "Hey, I'm sorry. Good luck with your wife." And then I
Oh.
found out she was texting this to a bunch of kids.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
Oh
say.
my
It was me.
God.
I wasn't just the only kid. She was trying to meet every kid. I think she was probably. I think you
Whoa.
know when you work with somebody and you're like they get hotter over time.
Yeah.
I think that's just what happened to her with teaching. I think eventually you're like, yeah, I could. 17's
Oh
not
my
bad.
God. So she was she hitting up everybody like after they graduated or like people
I think both. I think
Wow.
during. I think it's just if you were a kid that she liked, she would text you.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Mm-hmm. And
So
I only-
nothing ever
I saw
happened?
her once after. It was at a
Eh.
grocery store. And
What,
she
did
was just like,
anything?
"How are things?" And I was like, "Good." And she just left.
You should have been like, I can drink now.
Yeah, I know.
I'm allowed to drink.
I always, I wonder if she ever banged anybody. I feel like she had to have.
Do you follow her on Facebook?
I tried to find her, but I can't find her.
Really?
Yeah, I can't find her.
Wow. Oh man.
And so it's like I could have been there, but I don't know. I mean, I would have. I had ED even as a kid when I got. I was a nervous. You ever get too nervous to get it up? Nobody.
No.
Oh man.
But hey,
that was
listen,
my whole
probably
childhood.
some people.
I mean, I would. I think I was cute enough to have girls interested in me, but it would always not work.
Swim team captain, dude.
Yeah, was a captain, was a student government VP.
Dude, that's great. I forgot. Yeah, you mentioned that's a great story, dude.
It's nuts.
That is wild.
Yeah.
Holy shit. That's the dream for everybody.
Yeah, I know. It was like I got a golden ticket and I was too afraid to show up to the chocolate factory. Though. It was just like, God, I got to the gates and panicked.
You're like, what if there's too much chocolate and I just
Yeah.
I can't handle it all.
It was wild that another teacher was in on it too.
Yeah, that is that's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. That might be the worst thing. To find out that your significant other is not only cheating on you, but with a child.
I don't know what I would. I think you'd have to leave, right? I think they stayed together.
I mean,
That's a dangerous position for her because he can actually get you. Like normally, when your wife cheats on you, you're kind of screwed. He can be like, "Yeah, he was 18. You were feeding him alcohol. You're going
yeah,
to jail."
where I'm taking the kids, I'm taking everything. You're
Yeah.
going to jail.
Yeah, you're going to jail, miss. Well, I shouldn't say her last name.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, you never know. She
I thought
might
it was-
listen, dude.
Yeah, I thought she was I was a good kid though. I didn't tell on her. When I was in high school, kids were telling on their teachers. Do you remember that?
Wait,
that was always on the news.
really?
If a
Oh,
teacher
yeah, yeah,
banged,
yeah.
it would always be like he told. And I was like, I would never tell.
Well, I think they wouldn't tell necessarily. They would tell the friends, and then friends would be
Oh,
talking
you're
about
right.
it. You know, so and so's parent overhears someone,
right.
and then is like, and then your parents confront you about it, and you're like, yeah, I guess it happened.
I fucked her.
It's usually a social media leak. They send a text
Yeah.
around.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. To then they get screenshot.
If it was more like, because I'm assuming when you went to high school, it wasn't iPhones yet, was it?
I don't think so. Yeah, I think it was iPod Touch was out.
I still had the Nokia and
Yeah.
snake
Oh,
phones,
yeah, I
you
had
know,
the
and all
rumor.
that.
I had
so
the
like,
scoop.
you know, if it was now, the thing that gets you in trouble is all these teachers sending nudes back and forth, and then it's just hard evidence.
Yeah, I
That's,
mean, how you
you
gonna
know.
get away from a nude? What's that?
That's
A deep
crazy.
fake?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's a deep fake. Dude, that's a great story. That's pretty good. We got time. We got time. We usually do about an hour, but do you have anything else you want to?
I have some other whatever you guys want to. I have some random stories I wrote down. I have a sister I never knew. I have a secret sister, stuff like that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's go with the secret
Yeah.
sister.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, I have a sister. Do you guys have one? Do you have a secret? Do you know?
No. I have two brothers.
Okay. Do you guys siblings?
Yeah, my family. If you met them, there's no way there's any secret. They barely can hold together. The family we have.
Mine was weird. My dad just told me as soon as I asked him about it. It happened I went home.
So what made you suspect this?
I didn't suspect it. I found an old picture of my dad holding a baby with a mullet. So I kept the picture to make fun of the mullet. The mullet was the reason why I have a sister now.
You just never would have said it.
Never would have said it. I found it.
Man.
He was sitting on a couch, literally it looked like just like this. And I showed it to him one day. He picked me up from my mom's house. And I was like, look at the mullet. And then he was like, oh, that was crazy. And then I go, whose kid is this? And he was sitting next to another guy. So I was like, oh, is that Jeff's kid? And he could have lied.
You could have, yeah.
He like, that's Jeff's kid with my eyes. And I was like, who's it? And he goes, oh, that's my daughter. And I went,
whoa.
I was like, what? And I swear, I think, you know when like someone calls you out on something in your brain? You know, have you ever been caught jacking off?
Yeah.
Have you been caught?
I don't.
Like a parent opens the door on you?
So.
Ah,
And
that's
you're
great.
Yeah.
I was once caught with a bathing suit, so I was too afraid to tuck it back in because the scarring. I thought the Velcro was going to rip it. So I left it out. And my dad was coming in to give me gas money to drive back to my mom's house.
Oh, my God.
So he tried to be a cool dad. He walked in and he goes, here's that 20. And he threw a 20 and it landed on my dick. It was so weird.
It's so bizarre, dude. Oh my God.
Yeah.
That's very
I
weird.
stayed in my room the whole night.
You can't go down and
I was like,
eat dinner at the same table
Grounded
after
for
that.
another summer.
yeah. But yeah, I asked him, he told me, and then I said, when he goes, that's my daughter, I was like, what do you mean? He goes, come on, I haven't told you about her? And I was like, what are you talking about? And then, you know, I was like, what the hell? You have a daughter? And I go, what's her name? And he goes, I forgot.
Stop.
And I was like, now you're lying? Just tell me her name.
Yeah, that's like I have a half sister. Like,
Yeah.
tell me.
And then I was like, come on, now you're lying. He goes, if I could remember. And I was like, you don't forget a kid's name. And
Holy shit.
I go to my dad's house, you know, whatever. I was just like, all right, well, that's fucking weird. And then I wake up the next morning. He comes in my room and he goes, here's that. No, but he goes,
Here's the 20.
here's the 20. And he goes, I swear to God, my dad's like a weird, goofy guy. And he did it like a movie. He comes in the room and he goes, her name, it came to me in a dream.
Oh my God.
And I was like, God, that's embarrassing. But I had to be like, what a coincidence. What is it? And then he told me, and then I looked her up and I found her. And I thought it was going to be like, I'm your long. I sent her like this, holy shit. And she responded, she was like, oh, I thought he was dead. And I was like, oh, he's alive and well in Arizona. And it took her it was devastating to her for a while.
Oh my
I can only
God.
imagine.
Yeah.
So was your dad like a wild guy as a young dude?
I think he was a super wild. He grew up in Redondo Beach in California. He like had a Mustang. It was like back in the days where like
Really?
you could outrun the cops as long as he was like racing Mustangs. It sounded like he grew up in a really picturesque California, like doing coke, surfing, driving the Mustang, racing it. Cops didn't really give a shit.
Damn.
So I think he was a super reckless dude. And then he had sex with he says a crazy girlfriend who just wound up keeping the kid.
Oh.
And then she said she came to him later and was like, I found a different guy. And then they just never talked. And then I found her, and now she checked up on me the other day. She was
Really?
a kid. I'm like a secret uncle. It's wild.
Have you ever met her or like,
No, I've tried to meet her years ago because this happened when I was 18, so it's been like 10 years.
Shit.
She was like, I'm not ready, but she sends me pictures of her kid. She was like a really cute kid.
Have you ever tried to? Where does she live?
She lives in Orange County. I think she's doing
California.
well.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
that's great. I mean,
Yeah.
That's. Has she ever reached out to your dad since?
No, my dad tried to. Wow. But he would just like send her selfies, and I just don't think I
Dude,
know.
That's a like that.
It's such
That's
a-
a long text of like, hey, you gotta bare your soul at that
Yeah.
point. Be like, I would love to reconnect.
No, he would send like selfies of my stepmom and him like at the movie. Sorry, I never met you, but I'm at the movies right now. You happen to see the new Batman? Maybe we
Oh
can-
no, dude. Oh my God.
So I don't think they're ever gonna. I don't know. I'm trying to go to California in June, so maybe I'll meet her.
I think you reach out.
Yeah.
I think you reach out and say, hey, I know it's been 10 years since you've heard of me.
Yeah.
Would you like to maybe meet for lunch?
Yeah, maybe I could meet the little nephew.
Yeah.
And it sucks. That's seeing the nephew fuels my girlfriend to want to have kids. I mean, she wants kids really, and I'm like,
How old is she?
she's 27.
It's perfect time to
Yeah,
start.
it's about time.
Perfect time, dude.
Yeah.
You get two, 3, 4 kids. And all of a sudden now you guys are 35 with a bunch of Rugrats running around.
Yeah, that's
It's
true.
ideal.
I don't know. I'm
You
afraid.
don't want to be, that's because I'm 33 at this point,
Uh-huh.
and I'm trying to date people who are like 26, 27. Because nothing against like dating someone who's 33, 34, but if you want kids, that's like all of a sudden now you're both like 40 with like 3 kids. I'd like someone to be a little younger. Dad's older. He needs to relax a little
Yeah,
bit.
you can't throw. Yeah, exactly. You don't want the tired dad.
Yeah, I gotta get on it.
So you want the kids?
Yeah, of course.
You want 2?
I kind of want I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I think in my head I want at least 1 kid, but I kind of want like 3.
Okay,
who
3 would
knows?
be fun. Do you want them?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. At this point, I'm older, so I'm 41 now, so I don't really know. I thought about it a couple years ago. It seems to me like if I did, it's comedy or the other one, and the other one hasn't shown up, so it's like comedy's there for me more than the other. I was dating one girl, and if we thought about getting married, but she was a little older than I was at the time. I was like 37, and she might have been 38 or something. So it would have to be quick.
Yeah.
And then I started doing comedy in a bigger way, and it just wasn't there. So I don't know if I could do both. I don't know if I would do comedy if you're not successful at comedy and you have a family, it's like a disgrace.
Yeah, it's tough.
You're a piece of garbage.
Yeah,
but if you're successful, it's fine.
Yeah.
You know, like
nothing's
Bill Burr's
cooler than
great.
a success. Yeah, nothing's cooler than Bert Kreischer showing up to your school as the hey, that's my dad.
Yeah.
But nothing's like less cool than being like, oh, that's my dad.
He runs a weekly.
He does. He's a stand-up comedian. No, he's never been on TV. You would have never heard of him.
Yeah, he's
I think
mostly a mover.
I think it's weird for a lot of guys. Like if I had money, I think I would get married. If I had money younger, I'd just be like, well, I got all this money. Mm-hmm. I don't know. I don't buy anything, so I actually like spending money on women. I probably shouldn't say that on the podcast. Like I enjoy it to a degree, long as they're not like a succubus woman.
Yeah.
Like if they're a nice woman, I enjoy buying stuff for them, and I don't buy anything.
Yeah,
If
I
had a
really
ton
just
of
buy
money,
food.
Yeah, I buy food, basic clothing. So if I had like tons of extra money, I'd be like, I gotta get a wife, get a house.
Yeah.
I would love to have a house.
Yeah, me too.
That would be. I can't wait to. I would love to get a house. That's the dream for me. I'll have kids if whoever I'm with wants kids. That's where I'm at. Mm-hmm. I could live a full life with or without them.
I do like
a good
family
point.
though. I'm a pro family person. I got nephews, love them. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's the way to go. I think for most people, more so for a lot of people. Like if you take the whole family thing out, a lot of people are just going to get weirder and weirder, as
I
they kind of
agree.
are.
I mean, you can kind of see it in your
Yes,
comedy.
you can.
A lot
Yeah.
of lonely people.
Yeah, a lot of lonely.
I think it sounds better when you're young. Like they pitch you on that, like, yeah, you're independent. You're saying, then you get into your 40s, and now you're sad.
Yeah.
Now you're sad looking.
Yeah, and especially if you don't have money and you can't go to one of those like homes that's like a fun retirement center.
Oh, yeah,
then
you
you're
gotta go to a
alone,
bad
dude.
one.
Or a bad one, or you're just living in a house alone. I always get sad when I see old people without wedding rings.
Ooh.
Yeah, it makes me
yeah.
sad. Makes me sad.
I saw an old homeless lady on the train the other day. I mean, real old, and wrapped up in a blanket. I was like, come on, let me just kill you. What are you living for? If she asked me to kill her, I would have been like, thank you so much. Smack her head on my knee. My knee would have taken her out in an instant. I felt so. It would have been the nice thing to do. to
Yeah,
put
but
this
was
chick
she
down.
married?
Did she have a ring?
She probably had a husband on the L train. Yeah, on different trains.
That's so funny. Oh man. How you feeling?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah. If you want more, I got.
No,
more, but
I
if
mean,
not,
we
I'm good.
usually do about an hour at like an hour 10. So,
right.
yeah.
All right, cool.
If there's anything else you want to say, we can keep
and
going.
you
but
got to plug
otherwise-
everything you're doing.
Okay,
Yeah,
no,
give us
I got
the
the
plug,
rest.
baby.
I got a big concussion story. That's going to take too long to tell, I think.
All right, dude.
Well, we'll do
Yeah.
another. We'll have you on.
Yeah,
next
of
time.
course.
Next time you're on.
All right, hell yeah. Cool. I'll plug. You want me to plug now? Or you guys
Yeah,
want to plug first?
Give the plugs, baby.
Okay. You can follow me on everything at Charles_Engle. It's ENGLE. I got a fun comedy history podcast called Overshadowed. I run 2 weekly comedy shows. If you live in New York, it's called Freestyle Comedy Show on Instagram. So check it out. Come to a show, listen to the podcast, and watch my jokes.
Hell yeah. Michael?
All right, Mike T. Kerrigan on Instagram. That's about it.
Dylan Krasinski on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok. Sea Otter Town Hall's out every Wednesday. Come see us live, Old Man Hustle, Wednesday through Saturday in the Lower East Side. And that's about it, dude. Thanks for coming by.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was great.
Excellent.
Great name, by the way, for the pod.
Sea Otter Town Hall.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, the two little otters behind you.
Oh,
baby.
nice. It would be something that, like, if I saw it on a ticket, like if you did a live podcast, I'd be like, shit, I want to go to that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
Dude, I appreciate that, man.
Cool.
All right. See you next week.
Bye. Bye.